Hi guys, we're gonna debunk an energy myth today. And the reason for this is one of my friends who just wrote to me and asked me is it possible to draw energy from free air. He just showed me a video from YouTube. You know that clip where a guy just connects a couple of components and draws free energy from just anywhere. You've probably seen hundreds of those, right? Well, I've seen a couple and that was enough for me because it's BS. Yes, it is. Well, you can't really call BS without trying it out yourself, now can you? Well, I did. It took only 5 minutes to assemble. You probably do it in less than a minute if you have some practice. It basically consists of 4 germanium diodes, 2 electrolytes, and 2 capacitors. What it does is that it draws energy from an antenna. And as you know, and you probably know, is that all the signals that goes around in the air from your cell phone, from radio stations, etc., are in fact electrical signals. And yes, you can harness those and store them on a couple of capacitors if you want to. Unfortunately, it's not very strong. And you would even be hard pressed to charge enough energy to, let's say, power a LED for that 1/10 of a second in a couple of days. And that's not really energy you can use. If it's going to be at all practical, let's say you want to charge a cell phone, you need a lot more power than that. Much more power than you can gather from radio signals in the air. And just to show to you that this is actually bullshit, I'm going to show it. Here I have a, just like they demonstrated in the video, it's a multimeter. I'm going to set it to 200 millivolts because this thing doesn't charge much at all. I have a pretty long antenna which should be receiving all kinds of crap from the air. So I'm putting this into the input capacitors here. Come on, there you go. And I'm taking my multimeter up so you can see it. And so you can see I'm not faking anything. Pretty much like that guy with the cell phone charging, he was faking it because you couldn't see all the cables. And I'm going to put that to the terminals of the 2 capacitors. And as you can see, I have about, come on, get stuck, there you go. As you can see, I have about 4 to 5 millivolts. And that's not much, is it? What can you run with 5 millivolts? You may get some sparks into a headphone or headset or an earpiece. That's pretty much it. That's the way crystal radios functions too, except you have an inductor and a discriminator diode, which is a germanium diode. You can also use a silicon diode, but it won't be as sensitive. So that's it. Myth debunked.